This episode is brought to you by Studio Space Franklin, a bright, welcoming studio made for creatives and small business owners. Whether you're planning a photo shoot, filming content, recording a podcast like me, or just need a quiet, beautiful space to focus and create, Studio Space Franklin makes it easy. The studio features gorgeous natural lighting, versatile backdrops, flexible setups, and props for just about any season or brand vibe, all with simple, stress-free booking. Studio Space Franklin is owned and operated by Kara Wagner of Miss Kara Photography, a fellow small business owner who truly gets it. You can rent the studio on its own or book Kara as your photographer or videographer to help bring your vision to life. With experience since 2008, she's worked with families, brands, events, headshots, and more. A woman-owned studio supporting other creatives and small business owners? We love to see it here on Womanaging. Ready to book the space, book Kara, or both? Visit misskara.com/Studio Space Franklin. That's Miss MISS Kara CARA photography.com/Studio Space Franklin. Go support. Thanks, guys. Hello, Womanagers, and welcome back to Womanaging. I am your host, Lila Myers, and today we'll be talking about women. just kidding. Well, I'm not, but so anticlimactic. I thought it was funny in my own head. I am sitting in the beautiful, comforting Studio Space Franklin, and so excited to do another solo episode on the pod. Solo episodes are very out of my comfort zone, but it is good to step out of your comfort zone every once in a while. Anywho, busy weekend at the stores I manage. I managed the Greek's Pizzeria and Tap Room in Franklin and Greenwood. My staff and I had a massive weekend, to say the least. On Wednesday, we were at the Art Craft selling pizzas for a Wild Geese Bookshop event. Thursday, we catered kindergarten registration for the staff at Northwood Elementary. Super fun and super cute. I got to deliver it, and it was amazing. Friday was the Big Mama. We catered a women's conference at Mount Pleasant Church located in Greenwood, Indiana, where we sold 175 small pizzas, in which that was a whole total group effort because both stores pushed out small pizzas at the same time. So we were able to make that an enormous amount of food all at once and for it to still be fresh. It was so much fun, so collaborative. I love involving both of the stores and making it just a huge team effort. You know, when you manage two stores, both stores don't see each other all the time. So it's hard to make that a huge team thing. And being able to share with both stores that, hey, we're all doing this together. We're both pushing out small pizzas at the same time. I think it was nice. It was a bonding moment for both stores to be like, hey, we did that together. We've never done anything like that together. At the same time, I had an event at Postmortem Tattoo Parlor for Friday the 13th with my bar cart. And unfortunately, I wasn't there for most of it, but we'll get into that later. But luckily, I had two girls that were able to work it for me, Sarah and Stevie, and they did so good. On top of these outside events, which, by the way, the Postmortem event and Mount Pleasant were happening at the same time, we had two major catering orders plus a birthday party at the Franklin store. So I was stuck in the kitchen that day, but I was so happy to be so, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I am a control freak at heart, and the catering orders that we were doing, one was for a rehearsal dinner and one was for a reception. And then the birthday party we had at the store is one of my regulars, so I wanted everything to be perfect. So I was glad I was able to stay back, be in the kitchen, notice how hard my kitchen workers have been working and seeing everybody's progress. It really, really made me happy. Everything was just so beautifully executed. I was so proud of them. Having staff that can go out and represent you at both outside events and still watching my people hold down the forts in both stores was such a blessing, and I will never take it for granted. On Saturday, we hosted a 30th birthday party in the morning, a small family reunion lunch, and then catered the 60th birthday party at a local event space, RFD. Just an amazing example of a monster weekend, full of teamwork, hard work, and passion for the service industry by my staff. Why I'm bringing this up is because A, I'm a very proud mama of my team and want to brag on them. They deserve it. But another thing I pulled from this weekend was being surrounded by some pretty strong women. The women that put on the conference at Mount Pleasant did such an amazing job. Had more people than they expected show up. So fun to know that your event just skyrocketed. And made others feel really welcome and empowered. At Postmortem's event on Friday, everything was all female vendors, all women running the front desk. Tam was doing her tarot and always had such an amazing and warm energy. I just love being around her. And then Jamie was the only woman tattooing at the event. For those who don't know, Jamie owns Postmortem Tattoo Parlor, and she's just also a boss lady. I love her. She's unapologetically herself, and we just killed it at that event we created together. I love working with her. I love working with Tam. Tam and Jamie also have episodes on women managing, so be sure to check those out after this one. Saturday, the 30th birthday party was put together by a woman and myself. She was super prepared, helped make the party for her significant other absolutely amazing. You could tell she just really cared about everything that was going into the event. And even though they were only there for maybe an hour and a half, she had the whole thing planned out. And I had talked to her afterwards, and she was like, oh yeah, we have this, this, and this. She literally had the whole night planned out until midnight. And I was just like, that's sweet. The 60th birthday party we helped cater was also planned by a lovely wife who I was in contact with for days beforehand. Finally got to meet with her, sit with her, and have a genuine conversation and connection. On Sunday, I was able to sit down and reflect. And that's when I was thinking about all of these things. Like I said, amazing, strong, compassionate women that helped shape the weekend into what it was for their loved ones, had great communication with me as a vendor, some seriously great staff members who worked and helped with the events as well. I had a lot of amazing male staff members this weekend too, so I'm not discrediting them either. I needed both to get the weekend going through. Everyone was the reason the weekend ticked the way it was, so don't come for me. I thought about it, and then opened my phone to Facebook. When I thought was going to be a mindless scroll for a few minutes after a productive morning of thinking about my staff, just wondering, I hope they feel appreciated. So I made sure to get a little message out that weekend. But what turned into the mindless scroll into something way more than what it should have been. It was just a little bit of a rage sesh. There was one post that made me just do a lot of how dare they, just those kind of thoughts flowing through your head. I was like, okay, so I guess my relaxing morning just got stopped pretty abruptly. I was probably gritting my teeth and furrowing my brow like a crazy person to anyone walking by me in the store, but I was just really upset by this post. The post to cause this was one that came out of nowhere. It was from the Daily Wire, and because someone that I was friends with liked it, it came up on my feed because I don't follow obviously the Daily Wire. It was the one with the starting caption, and it said, if it seems like all of the left was kidding about body positivity, it's because they were. And then they showed a recent picture of Lizzo and Kelly Osbourne. And I was just that's just so out of left field, but okay. It then goes into slides that are supposed to be before and after shots of Lizzo, Oprah Winfrey, Meghan Trainor, Kelly Osbourne, and Serena Williams, all who have admitted or rumored to be using a GLP-1 like Mounjaro, semaglutide, Wegovy, or Ro. It is used to make the change in their physical appearance seem way more severe than it really is. Some pictures clearly modified of a weight change. There's two pictures, Kelly Osbourne and somebody else. Oh, Oprah's. And I was like, you clearly edited those. It was obvious. It then ends the slideshow with saying, it was never about body positivity. Hollywood has no moral compass. They're just obsessed with trying to direct yours. And then the caption said, quote, apparently it was never all about that base, quote. So many things are wrong with this post. First, it is using pictures that are edited, some of them with bad angles, and also it didn't give us a time frame, not that it's any of our business, but it makes it seem like it was some dramatic quick weight loss. Second, it is making an argument for the left versus the right. Body positivity, body image, or people's bodies in general have nothing to do with politics and need to stay out of politics, period. We are entitled to do whatever we want with our bodies, and any political movement wanting to take away autonomy is weird in my opinion, or a post like this. This is not a fight about or between two political parties, and that just needs to be stopped clickbaiting as such. It also makes Hollywood like villainized, and these women villainized for changing their appearances and being honest about a weight loss drug. There's nothing wrong with that. That is their personal choice. Third, it makes the use of a weight loss drug feel absolutely shameful still, like it is being overused or being publicized for money or to brainwash us. It was just a super messed up and twisted post, and in my promo for this episode, I will be reposting it and showing you what I mean so you can reference it while you're watching this episode. But anyways, not everyone wants or needs a GLP-1. These women also did way more for their health than use a GLP-1, and that post was not capturing that. Finally, I want to bring up the fact that this is only comparing women. It is comparing women to themselves and one another. Many men are public about their use of a GLP-1, and they were not mentioned in it. For example, Charles Barkley, Elon Musk, Jim Gaffigan, Tracy Morgan, the list goes on. So why are just women dragged in the post? Why weren't men included? Body positivity for men is also a very important topic right now. And because the mainstream media and society in general are just obsessed with women's appearances way more than they should, this post is just overshadowing their competency, their achievements, and the things that are actually important about a person, like their personality and how they treat people. It's not new that the media wants to overanalyze a woman's body. When these women looked like their quote before picture quote, they were still getting ripped by the media for being overweight, or they were called unhealthy or not conventionally attractive. All just crap from the media because these women were successful. What the post does not show is this. Lizzo has been changing her diet, exercise, lifestyle changes for years. She started posting more about it in 2020 and has been pretty much consistent about it, but she worked hard for her health. Lizzo also made so much inspiring music for girls that needed it in the transition period of the 2010s with body positivity. She had us singing and reinforcing body positive affirmations through listening to her music. She used her art to help and reinforce the idea that no matter what you looked like, you were beautiful. Oprah Winfrey has been using this weight loss journey for good, being open and honest, and did an amazing special in 2024 called Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution. Even if you aren't on a weight loss journey, you should watch this special. I think it is really important and has a lot of great information in it. She used this as a way for women to regain control of the narrative and the shame of using GLP-1s. It helped educate and empower people. Oprah has been body shamed since the 80s, no matter what she looked like. Why is everyone obsessed with her weight when she is the world's first African-American billionaire, African-American woman billionaire, a pioneer in daytime television, and a huge philanthropist? Because she's a successful woman, and the lowest blow they could pull was just tearing her physical appearance apart. I thought Oprah looked and always looked beautiful. Meghan Trainor, the next person scrutinized by this post, had many health issues during her pregnancies and wanted to be healthier for her children. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, she did make the song, quote, All About That Bass, quote, but she was 19 at the time, and people are allowed to change how they look. It is natural, and no one looks the same as they did at 19 when they are in their 30s. If they do, then they are super, super lucky. Kelly Osbourne is rumored to be using a GLP-1, and I have seen so many analysis posts on her recent appearance. It's just gross. You know, some people lose weight for like other reasons than a GLP-1. She just lost her dad, Ozzy Osbourne, who was such a big part of her life. She's been doing more public events since her father's death with her mom, and the only thing people can comment on is their appearance. They've also commented on her mom being like super underweight, and it's just ridiculous. They're literally grieving one of the biggest losses in their life. Grief could also cause the body to change. They're giving their energy in other places. Kelly is still trying to be a mom to a little one, got engaged less than a year ago, helping her mom, who is a widow now. And then all people can do is wonder if they're on a GLP-1. It's weird. I just don't get it. For some people, they deal with grief in a way that impacts their eating habits, and that's also me. So seeing Kelly Osbourne getting judged for this and her being included in the post really set me over the edge. Protect her at all costs, y'all. Like, it's just dumb. The picture they used for her was also a very young one, too, for her before picture, and I thought that was extremely weird as well. Like, it's is not a really good comparison because she was so young in that picture. But, I mean, if that's the picture they wanted to use. Serena Williams is just living her best life, another person that was also included in this post, focusing on her health during retirement, and now everyone is coming at her since she went public with her use of the medication version of Ozempic. Row. She was dealt with comments on her body as well, and she's been dealing with those rather than her tennis ability comments when she was 17. She was focused more on her body comments than her tennis ability comments. I was researching her for this episode because I didn't really know a lot about Serena Williams, and she had an interview where she said she felt so conscious about going to her first open competition, not because of her tennis abilities, but because she did not look like everyone else playing tennis. She was nervous because she was not super thin, and she commented about how she was like, oh, I have a bigger butt, I have bigger boobs than these girls. She was also the only African American girl there. Why would a young 17-year-old be worrying about that when she should be, just practicing and only worrying about her tennis abilities? She had to deal with the weight of just worrying about how people were going to perceive her body. And that's just so sad. Also, every time I Googled these women in the post, I am referencing all of the top 3 searches involved were their name and then the phrase, quote, weight loss, quote, after it. So stupid. My point is that no matter what these women look like or have looked like, the media continues to destroy them and publish work on their physical appearance. If you have nothing else to write about than what a woman is looking like currently, you're a bad reporter, in my opinion. I don't care about their weight or how their body looks at the moment as a woman in their 20s who is listening and seeing all this media. I want to know, honestly, what they're creating, working on, what they have been accomplishing recently. I love to see new hairstyles, makeup, outfits, that type of stuff, right? Who doesn't? I love seeing self-expression by celebrities, but their weight, lame. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not impacting me personally. Another thing I want to talk about is something that's a little more subliminal in this post. Body positivity really took a turn around 2012. The definition I pulled from Google defined body positivity as this. The quote is, body positivity is a social movement advocating for the acceptance and appreciation of all bodies, regardless of size, shape, skin tone, gender, or physical ability, quote. Paraphrasing this is basically loving your body no matter what. The post I am using as my reference for this episode is only saying that these celebrities only supported the body positivity movement at their bigger weight. If anything, they have all fully said in a lot of media sources that they loved their bodies before too. They just learned to hate their bodies before too, also at the same time, because of what the media was saying about them. It made them self-conscious. Them changing their body and still loving it is the definition of body positivity. Their quote from the post that said, from the Daily Wire post, quote, it was never about body positivity. Hollywood has no moral compass. They're just obsessed with trying to direct yours, quote, is ridiculous. Just because women decide to change their weight, no matter how they changed it, does not mean they were never about body positivity. That makes body positivity seem super one-sided. That is not the point of the whole movement. For me, I saw body positivity movement around 2015, especially when the Meghan Trainor song All About That Bass came out. I was rocking it so much and playing it in my house so much. My mom loved the song. I remember being super confident going to middle school after listening to that song, and Forever 21 was really big then, and I was okay, I feel confident wearing whatever I want from Forever 21, even if I'm not the skinniest girl in class. That song was everything for me. But even then, the media and men still did not like women who were not completely rail thin. Even if you were a woman who was rail thin, you were speculated by thinking, oh, maybe she has an eating disorder. No one could win during that. I also think about Miley Cyrus when she cut her hair short during that time, and everyone was like, oh, she's being provocative, doing provocative things, doing different type of music. having different hair was starting to come in during that time, which was super fun for me because I pleaded my mom for pink hair. And she bought me like the spray that was like temporary pink, and I just loved it. Another like standout moment for me during this movement was when Zoe Kravitz was on the cover of Teen Vogue, and that was like 2016. I still have a piece of that magazine still because I just loved it so much. But it was special to me because it was a girl with tattoos and a septum piercing, and she was on the cover of freaking Teen Vogue. Like, I worshipped Teen Vogue at the time. I was like, okay, now it is socially acceptable to get tattoos and piercings and still be a model. I have always wanted tattoos and piercings from a young age, but was so scared to get them because of the stupid beauty norms my generation dealt with while growing up. The rise of social media was also skyrocketing at the time. That correlation is super important. That meant everything was on display in a mutated way. This meant that people started posting more hate comments, anonymously or not, and whenever it popped into their mind. Just because women were in a state of realizing their worth and it wasn't reliant on a number on the scale or a certain look, never deterred anyone, the media, men, other women, from still hating on them. If anything, women being okay with themselves, more than okay with themselves, loving themselves, finally, in my opinion, as someone who lived through that time as a teenager on social media, honestly, I felt like they were more susceptible to the hate. It is the media and a good amount of society that hate when women have autonomy. They were still choosing to do whatever they want with their bodies. It was still bothering people. Now that women have and feel more autonomy to do what they want with their bodies, we are seeing more outward expression. We see women with tattoos and piercings way more than women without now. We see women dressing for themselves, getting their hair done, doing what makes them feel good, basically just doing more things for their own joy and fulfillment. Now that women have more autonomy over their bodies, it is a way they show it now through their health. These women that are using GLP-1s for their health, now they're just getting dragged for it. Now that they have lost the weight and are an acceptable look for society / the media that wanted all these years, that they've raked them over the coals for not having it a decade ago, are now getting raked over the coals for being that weight size or losing the weight. Why? Because they are doing what they want, representing autonomy, independence, and that pisses people off. It really shouldn't. Everyone deserves to express themselves, look the way they want, no matter what gender they are. We have worked so hard for this, ladies. Don't let them shame you into taking away your autonomy because you lost weight. It makes no sense. If that post from the Daily Wire was really about the supposed brainwashing from Hollywood and the fake body positivity these women preached, why not call out the male celebrities? Why didn't you include Charles Barkley? He had a significant weight loss journey that just happened, and he looks great either way. Why not call out Elon Musk, Jim Gaffigan, Tracy Morgan? I am not saying anyone should have been or deserve to be called out in this post, but because they didn't include men, I just thought it was really fishy. Men also deal with body image issues as well. But everyone was truthful about their weight loss drug that they were using, and these women were too. If the Daily Wire really wanted to make a good argument, they would not have been biased against only tearing down women for weight loss. It would have included these men as well. They just don't like women who are independent and taking control. End of the story. Like, that's literally the reason why only the women were included in the post. Also, a good place for me to say that I have nothing against the use of GLP-1 drugs or the use of not using GLP-1 drugs. As long as people are not being out of control with it and it's regulated, I don't care. I feel like the media is almost upset about women being truthful about their use of GLP-1s than they are about women that are hiding the use of it. Same with plastic surgery. People get shamed for having it. People are shamed for keeping it a secret. So either way, since no matter what women choose to do, the media just hates the autonomy women openly show. At this point, just do what makes you happy. Keep your side of the street clean. and keep on doing you. Now, after that big-winded conversation, what makes this full circle was that I had just experienced an amazing weekend that was put together by amazing women who cared deeply, took time out of their already busy days to help plan events with me. And I was thinking on Sunday, if they were the ones in the spotlight, would they only be seen for their physical appearance? Would their achievements in their personal and professional lives be overlooked by the possibility of them using a GLP-1? It is just really upsetting, and the protectiveness I felt against all women in that moment made me want to do an episode on this. Well, managers deserve to be ambitious, independent, and fully themselves. I refuse to stand for women being discarded for anything because of what their weight is. I don't want any of my younger girls listening to worry about their physical appearance impacting their career or professional achievements. I want them to be worried only about their performance in the workplace or at school. Not about what people will think of their outfit or their hairdo or if they wore makeup or not or what their weight is. I will start using my podcast for more solo episodes like this too. I felt like my first 2 solo episodes have been very safe in a way because I don't want to come off too hatey of men. It is not like that at all, though. I don't hate men. I saw another post actually this weekend from the page called Leading Women. If you don't follow them on Instagram, please shoot them a follow. It was them responding to the phrase, quote, "you hate men," quote. Leading Women wrote back, and quote, "No, I don't. I hate abusive men, manipulating men, entitled men, controlling men, dismissive men, rageful men, cheating men, lying men, gaslighting men, boundary violating men, emotionally unavailable men, exploitative men, disrespectful men, insecure men who punish others for it, men who think accountability is an attack, and good men know the difference." Quote. The men behind that post for the Daily Wire are the men described in that phrase I just read. I love when I interview women on my podcast who have super supportive husbands and let them shine and let them live to their fullest potential because that is true masculinity. And I have talked about that many times in my podcast when I reference the husbands. Like, a lot of these women clearly could have done this all on their own. Having supportive husbands, though, letting them shine and helping them through is still amazing. And I love that men like that out there, exist still. I also struggle with my physical appearance, so the post set something off personally in me. I used to, and still am, so hard on myself about not wearing makeup every day or not having my hair look perfect once I started working full-time as a manager and a server and a bartender and an owner of a bar cart and now a host and producer of a podcast. That's one of the reasons why I never have filmed myself recording. I have one recording of me and Jamie Zimmerman, and it's really hard to edit it. But I was just so hard on myself about the way I looked because I was wearing a hat in it and glasses and no makeup, and it's just so dumb. But anyways, I felt so exposed when I would work a bar cart event when I was first starting out without makeup, or maybe wearing a hat because I was behind on washing my hair. I decided to stop beating myself up over it because I was showing transparency. I was showing that my physical appearance did not have to be perfect to be successful in my career. I am a working woman. Who cares if I'm not perfectly put together every day? If anything, I became more relatable to my guests, and I was able to connect with them more because I was showing my true self. I live in an amazing small town that does not judge my physical appearance and correlate it with my professional competency. Now I feel way more comfortable not wearing makeup every day and love being all natural. Some days, it just makes me feel more confident, and I don't have to worry about melting off my face if I have to work outside in the heat or go back to help in the kitchen. It is really, truly freeing. It is one less stressor in my day. I do love a good day, though, where I get to dress up and do my makeup and do my hair and just go out still. Don't get me wrong. Those days just don't happen as much anymore. I will conclude this episode by saying this. do whatever the hell you want. The more women that do that, the more we are sitting up to media bases and society figures like the Daily Wire. We must fight against this piece of society that is still obsessed with tearing women down for the autonomy on our bodies. Keep wearing, doing, and feeling whatever you want to do. It is the best feeling in the world. Sooner or later, they will get tired of judging women and find something else that is clearly worth reporting on. Maybe like women's achievements and like the amazing feats they have been up to in 2026. We are resilient and we won't give up. We may have to fight harder for our basic rights than men, but it will be so worth it in the end. I love you guys. I want all women listening to this to feel okay and confident on their bodies, no matter what they're doing for their bodies or how they're doing to like get their bodies to where they are. No matter what, you are beautiful and it does not impact your professional career. And I hope that these women that were impacted by this post get the peace from it and can move on from it. I just hated the post. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for listening to my episode today. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, please follow WoManaging, like this episode, and turn your notifications on so you get notified as soon as a new episode is released. I am deciding a new release date too, so bear with me as I experiment with that. But thank you for your support. I love you guys. Bye for now.